I'm warning everybody ahead of time, I am throwing down slander. If you do not like that, please vacate the premises. If you follow this channel at all, you know I am obsessed with Y2K. However, even I have my limits. 1, I was just not a BRATZ kid. 2, by the time the BRATZ movie was released, I was well past the BRATZ loving stage. So all of my thoughts, opinions, and commentaries are based on my very grown-up age of today years old, because today was the very first time I have ever seen this movie. Let's begin. So if you don't know what BRATZ are, BRATZ was a doll released by, I think, Mattel back in the day. So if you don't know anything about BRATZ, BRATZ was released by, I think, Mattel back in the Y2K era as like a competition to Barbie. I say competition, I think they were like owned by the same people, or maybe it wasn't Mattel, it was somebody. But there was 4 of them. There was Sasha, Chloe, Yasmin, and Jade. Their whole thing is that they were fashionistas. Now, they didn't end up with a line quite as big as Barbie, but it was pretty big. However, from what I remember, there was like this big hoot and holler about BRATZ dolls, kind of like with the LOL surprise, because some of their outfits were quite scandalous. But whatever, let's get to the movie. So keep in mind, this movie is 1 hour and 53 minutes. You're basically at 2 hours. They go to high school and they can't hang out together at lunch, and so they don't hang out for 2 years. And then one day they realize, hey, we can just sit together and hang out. But this one particular girl doesn't like it because if it keeps everybody separated, it keeps them stupid. And then she has some kind of power over everybody. I don't really understand. Like, this girl doesn't have friends anyway, and nobody seems to like her, so I don't know what she's trying to hold on to. So after they learn that they can sit together and the world's not going to fall apart, they start hanging out with everybody so that everybody will hang out together. But then they go to the one girl's birthday party, and everybody reverts back to their own selves. And then they decide to sing a song in a talent show, and it brings everybody back together. The end. Okay, for tweens who aren't looking for a whole lot, it's very cute. However, for tween girl movies, I have high standards. I had Mean Girls, Clueless, 13 Going on 30, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. I feel like those movies did so much more than what this did for so much less. Let me explain. They needed 2 hours. Oh, it's 1 hour and 50 minutes. My apologies, but it's still right at 2 hours. They needed 2 hours to tell us what Mean Girls did from beginning to end in 1 hour and 37 minutes. You know, don't join cliques. Don't separate yourself into cliques. Heather's is 7 minutes shorter than Bratz, and they had to plan and execute an entire mass homicide. Number 2, I'm having a very hard time believing that they spent the entire $20 million on this movie. Mean Girls had a $17 million budget with a more prolific cast. Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen only spent $15 million, and they still had all those dance scenes. What a Girl Wants only spent $5 more million than Bratz did, but they were shooting all the way in London. In conclusion, Rock Angels should have been the live action. Out of 10.